is called Thom, and it was written by A.J. Jacobs. Many years ago, in a humble but dirty cottage deep in the forest, there lived a dirty but humble mud maker who labored from sun up to sundown, making mud. But he was very poor because then, as now, the mud market was rather weak. So at the end of the day, he would leave his mud puddle and return home to his cottage, where his wife always met him with a warm meal, which she always threw directly at his forehead. "Why must you always throw my dinner at me, dearest?" "Because, good husband, I'm like unhappy." So saying, she served him his apple pie, which she always threw directly at his left cheek, and shuffled off to bed. Now, being a mud maker is bad enough, but being a mud maker with an unhappy wife is just too much to bear. So early the next morning, the mud maker awoke to the sound of a rooster crowing. Unfortunately for him, he mistook the rooster for an alarm clock and tried to turn it off, which resulted in one unhappy rooster. In any case, he awoke and quietly stole from the cottage to a little house made of cheese, where it was said a good fairy lived. Knock, knock. In no time at all, the good fairy opened the door. "For crying out loud, what do you want? If you're here to tell me more Amway, I'll..." "Are you the good fairy?" "Of course I'm the good fairy. What kind of stupid question is that?" "You see, my wife is unhappy." "Big deal." "If we could have a son to keep her company..." All right, I get the picture. With the tap of my wand, I grant you your wish." So saying, the good fairy tapped the mud maker on the head. Fortunately for him, the good fairy didn't get a proper wind-up, and he suffered only a mild concussion. He staggered home as quickly as he could. Once there, his wife met him. "You'll never guess what I found, like a baby boy on the doorstep." "Hooray, it worked. Where is he?" "I put him to thimble." "To what?" And indeed, instead of going to bed, the baby boy had crawled into a thimble. He was about as small as you could get. He couldn't even get into Little League. You had to play really, really Little League. That small. In any case, strangely enough, the little boy just never seemed to grow. And 30 years later, the mud maker returned to the good fairy. "Is there anything we can do to make this boy grow? I mean, something that's within ocean FDA regulations." "Take this magic chickpea and put it under his bed, or in this case under his thimble. Now get out of here." The mud maker followed the good fairy's instructions to a P, and sure enough, within 24 hours, his son had shot up to a height that would rival any member of the local basketball team, the village 1476ers. Why, he's like 7 feet tall. And his stomach ain't anything to sneeze at either. And so they called their boy Thom. And needless to say, the boy lived up to his name. He ate and ate and ate. He joined the Clean Plate Club. Then he ate his plate and joined the lesser-known Clean Table Club. Once he had eaten everything there was to eat in the house, he set off through the woods, gobbling up everything in his path. His concerned father decided he better go see the good fairy to see what she could do. He found her standing in a clearing in the woods. "Good fairy, what happened to your house made of cheese?" "Some big fat kid ate it and ran off down the road going, 'Food, food.'" "Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Well, if I ever find out who that brat's father is, I'll turn him to a toad." "A toad? Now, what was it you wanted to ask me?" "Think it will rain?" "No." "Me either. See ya." Now it so happened on that very same day, the king was celebrating his birthday, and among the many fine presents he received was a beautiful, fat duck. "This better be an enchanted duck, because if it ain't, it's a pretty lame gift." Indeed, it was an enchanted duck, although it didn't lay golden eggs. That's another story, but it did lay eggs. By the dozens, by the hundreds, by the thousands. This duck would not stop laying eggs. And before long, the castle was filled to overflowing with white, beautiful, flawless eggs. The king, who had high cholesterol to begin with, was very unhappy with the situation and sent out a proclamation offering 100,000 bazookas to anyone who could rid the castle of eggs. Hearing this, the mud maker realized he had an answer to his problem. He brought the boy to the castle. "You say your boy Thom will get rid of the eggs?" "Yes, sir, sire." And with that, he let his son loose. The boy dove into the palace of eggs and ate like he never ate before. He ate them scrambled, deviled, over easy, over hard, sunny side up, dark side out. But those jaws did not stop there. The boy also ate the duck. He ate the tables, the chairs, the walls, the floor. Then the situation got really bad. The king, calling for his fastest horse, sped to the cottage of the mud maker. "You gotta take him back." "Oh no, I couldn't do that." "Humor me, I'm the king." "Sorry." "Take him back and I'll give you a kingdom of your very own." The mud maker did not need to consult his financial planner about that one. That was a deal. The king returned Thom to the mud maker, and the mud making family moved to the far off land to rule over it. The mud maker's wife solved their son's eating disorder by giving him mud pies, which, as we all know, is enough to kill anybody's appetite. And just to make certain they'd never be troubled again, no food was allowed in the kingdom. The people were always very famished, and so the teeny country was called hungry, and they all lived happily, if